Hey guys, it's Key and the Key Like Trading. Thanks for tuning into another video. So I was scrolling along the interweb and I came across this video. So as you can see, the title said, "My friend lost $600,000 day trading." I'm not sure what happened, but we're gonna find out what really happened. But before I tap in, is one thing you have to know is day trading is not for everyone. Losing 600,000 is crazy works. That's diabolical. Like, what? Like, come on. That's too much money. That's too much money to lose. And obviously, the person either had poor risk management, because if you're realizing that you're losing 600,000 or getting close to it, you should have stopped it. This is to show you guys that you have to have a clean cut strategy when you're trading stocks, and not only just stocks, any investment instrument. It could be crypto, it could be futures, it could be anything. But let's tap in and see what happened here. Let's get the full story.
Jade, I have a very, very, very big problem.
Uh-oh.
I lost I'm 58-year-old single mom of 3 grown boys. I had a trusted friend watching my money, and we lost it all.
Trusted friend? Maybe that friend can be trusted to make you some food or clean your backyard or probably come in your house, sleep, and don't steal anything. But trusted? I'm pretty sure that person is not trusted anymore. I wonder who this person was. Trusted? Let me know if you guys will continue trusting this person with this amount. Matter of fact, no, not even with this amount. Would you trust anyone with your money, any amount of money? Let me know. Because 600,000 to give to one person to do as they please with it, thinking that they're going to try to flip that money, that's too much money. I would understand if it was like a couple thousand, but this is 6 figures. Even say give them 100,000 just to say, okay, at the end of the day, when you're doing investment, any investment you're doing is risky. Anything, or like for a better word, let's say anything in life is risky, right? So you got to know how to separate certain things or break it down where you don't put too much eggs in one basket. So you could have been like, okay, I trust this person. All right, I have 600,000. I give them 100,000 to see what they can do with it, and put the other 5 somewhere else. Either stash it or probably get a professional financial advisor to help you invest that money into something else. But let's tap in.
400,000 in a brokerage firm, and he went into my retirement fund, so it's over 600,000 that I lost.
Oh no.
Obviously, I'm devastated, but thank you, Dr. John, that I've been listening to you for a long time. So I've been trying my best. I'm in like trauma therapy and trying my best. I'm a nurse. I make around $80,000 a year. I took a second job, and I'm bringing in an extra $4,000 a month. I own a home that I have $400,000 in equity, and I'm just not sure what the next step is for investing. I could sell the house. Should I sell the house? Because I always led my life, correctly. No credit card debt. I paid for my children's college, and
That's
now
good.
this is where I'm stuck.
All right. Oh,
Before we even continue with that, right? I like the way how she thinks. I'm gonna give her kudos. She did make one bad mistake to give that person that large sum of money to actually invest versus diversifying. And that person, whoever's managing her money, is crazy. Come on. If you're a real true investor, you know to basically diversify that funds into multiple different assets. But let me continue. I do want to give her kudos in terms of her getting back on the grind and getting a second job and trying to recoup as much as possible that she did lose. And she also have an option of selling the home. I don't think that would be the smart idea to do so. I mean, the only way I would say if you would do sell the house is if you are about to retire and you just want the money now, and then you could probably find a little small shack to where you can live the rest of your life. If you guys have any tips, what would you give someone like that, or what would you do in a situation like that if somebody messed up or lost that that much of amount of money for you? What would you do? Like, would you hustle until you get it back? Would you sell the home? Like, what would you do? Let me know.
Go
Hold on a
ahead.
sec. Jeannie, I hate this for you.
Mm.
You trusted a close friend, huh?
Yes.
Was that friend one of my college roommates is my SmartVestor Pro. manages my money, right? So I'm in the same boat. I'm going to call him right after the show. Just kidding. I know he's doing great. But did your friend like make stupid bets, or was your friend in charge of a mutual fund that just went belly up?
I think he was trying to make a lot of money, and he was day trading, basically day trading. Went through hundreds of thousands of dollars day trading, and then he lost all of that. Didn't want to tell me. He was giving me fake statements, and
so he's a criminal. Your friend is a criminal.
That's fraud.
He is,
That's
and
fraud,
we've gone to the White Plains, we're filing charges.
Good.
And
The fact that he was making up fake statements, that's not really your friend. He was trying to bamboozle you from the beginning. As soon as he started doing that, and I'm going to guess that from you losing this amount, you didn't know what that person was doing until after the fact. I'm not sure. But if this person is creating fake statements, that person was trying to bamboozle you from the beginning. And that kind of sucks that you lost that amount. And sometimes you find out in the weirdest way or the most messed up ways who's your real friends from who's not. Because the real friend would like, okay, they'll lose the money and they'll fess up and say, this happened or that happened. And if they're really a good friend, they'll help you get that money back. Either they do a second job and then put some money towards helping you get in, that's what a real friend would be. And I mean, if, I'll be like for me, I'll be pissed off that I lost that amount, obviously. But if the friend was telling me like, yo, I'm going to help you get as much money back, I'll more likely almost forget about it or just like understand like I won't do that again and do something different. But the fact that that person would have potentially helped me accumulate back as much of the loss as possible, I'll still rock with that person. Just me personally. But this is shady. That person, what they doing now, shady. But let's continue.
But then he went outside of the brokerage firm to my retirement account, and now I'm having all these tax implications.
Well, he robbed you. He stole from you.
I know.
Yeah, so we're going to deal with that on a separate issue, okay? Here's the big one. Have you forgiven Jeannie yet? Because until you do that, you're not going anywhere. You're going to sit right in the middle of this. You have to.
I think I will be able to, but not yet.
Okay.
How fresh is this?
December 18th.
Ooh, child.
You're going to have to okay, let's just cut right to it, be real honest. How much of this do you know in your gut things have been kind of shady for a while? Or were you just caught flat off guard?
Caught flat off guard.
Okay, then you got to forgive yourself.
So obviously she didn't really notice that person
we
was
have
doing what they was doing.
in our culture, we have like a process for when a friend stabs us in the back. We don't have a good psychology for when a friend stabs us right in the face. And that's what happened to you. Yeah. They looked you in the eye. They didn't do anything conniving behind your back. He stared you down and you lost everything.
Yeah, when he went into my retirement fund, he had like paper checks, hard copy checks cut and took it out of my mailbox.
Yeah, he stole.
Obviously, I would never take out.
He's a criminal. But, he's a crook. Listen, you have to set that.
You got to pack him up. Because that's diabolical. That person basically plotted. Hopefully, things work out in your favor. But let's continue.
Here's why. Your emotional reactivity is going to color what you do next.
Okay.
And you have to go into this next season as clear-eyed as you can be. What does that mean? Setting down the rage, setting down the anger, setting down your own self-hatred, setting all that crap down so that you can make a true plan moving forward.
Let me pause again. I'm not sure if she said how old she is. I'm not sure. But if she's super in age, let's say probably like 50s, 60s, that would suck. Now, if she's in her 40s, late 30s, or late 30s, mid 40s, I'll say you have a chance. But if you old, but anyways, let's continue.
I will listen to you.
Is that fair?
I can't even today. Just trying to pump gas. I'm shaking because I feel like I'm putting diesel in because I can't even make the decision on which gas pump.
That's right, because you have lost the foundation with which you walk on, which is trust in Jeannie. You gotta let yourself know, I got robbed. Not by your hand, but in your lap. This is not your fault.
Yes.
Most people, most of the time, have a little gut feeling that their buddy's kind of shady. Not you. Okay. You trusted this dude.
I did.
And he stole from you.
One thing I can say is, if you have a true friend that you believe is your friend, sometimes you can't really tell if they're really shady or not until certain events like this happens. So, yes, some people can have like an idea of who is close to them, or but those are people that you kind of have a side eye on. Like, you're not looking to have them do like investment like this. For you to give somebody this amount of money, you really trust that person. And sometimes when you have that trust with someone, you're not looking for them to do anything messed up. This person could have been someone that helped her out with certain things in life. She might have needed $1,000, and that person was open to giving her $1,000 and build that trust to where she felt comfortable enough to be like, you know what, this person helped me out a lot. He done this for me, or it could be a she too. I don't know what. It could be he or she, right? This person helped me, did this. They helped me build the house. Well, not build the house. That's a little bit over, but probably help her with some medical bill, little stuff like that. And she had that trust, like, yo, this person had my back for so long. You know what? Let me trust in them and see if they can do something with some money or make more money for me. But one thing I can say is that 600,000 that she raised for herself, she must have been super disciplined. And the fact that she had that much, a lot of people don't even have 600,000. Some people don't even have $1,000 in a bank account. So the fact that she actually raised or accumulate this amount of money, she was kind of good in a sense. She probably wanted to make a couple million, but on average, she's doing way better than a lot of people. But let's tap back in.
Mm-hmm. He was making fake statements, but he was handing them.
Hey, let it. You got to set it down, because here's why. None of that will come up in court. Hopefully, this idiot goes to jail. But
yeah.
Anytime you have to divert into, and then he did this and he did this, all you're doing is taking energy away from the current moment moving forward and dragging it into the back.
Okay.
Let's not go into the back seat anymore. We're done back there. We have to make a plan moving forward. Fair?
Yes, it's fair.
Okay.
I will listen to you.
Awesome.
So let's talk about the financial angle of this. So you're living in a paid-for home. It's worth $400,000. Tell me what other assets you have.
No, it's not paid for. It's worth $600,000, and I have $200,000 left on the mortgage.
Okay,
so you got $400,000 in equity. Tell me what other money you have laying around.
I didn't have any other money, not even an emergency fund, but I've built up an emergency fund of $8,000 since December 18th.
Okay.
Whoo, you're getting after it, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay,
I work in a group home all night long. I work all night now.
I want you to keep that intensity. I want you to build up 6 months of expenses, whatever that is, basic expenses, whatever it takes. If something were to happen for you to keep things running in your household.
Okay.
You told me you're
idea.
taking some overtime. How much are you bringing home every month?
Around 7,000.
Okay. And how much of that is margin? Like, how much of it is extra after you pay your bills, you get groceries?
Oh, well, to be honest, maybe it's more because right now the margin is 5,000.
Okay, so you got 5,000 a margin. That's good. So
I do.
First things first is you're building up this emergency fund. And then after that, of all the money that you're bringing home, I want you to start investing 15% of it. We're walking old school baby steps here. I want you investing 15% into your 401k basics. All right?
Okay.
And then after that, we can start looking at, while you're doing that, we can start looking at making extra mortgage payments. Because
I want you guys to really put in the comment section, what are some advice would you give her to help her accumulate as much as possible? Like, what kind of investment instrument would you kind of tell her, go this route, do this or do that? I do agree with some of what they're saying right now. Definitely, and for her to get back to the space where she was before, I don't know if she's going to get there in a quickly time span, but I feel like she can accumulate a good amount, probably 100,000 to probably even 200,000. I might be wrong, but it all depends on how much she still continues to bring in, and if everything goes smoothly, where there's no all of the hazardous things that happen throughout the space of where she's continuing to grow her funds, like say the house need fixing, or she might need some bread or money for medical bills, etc., etc.
All right.
Okay.
And then after that, we can start looking at, while you're doing that, we can start looking at making extra mortgage payments, because I want this $200,000 paid off. I want your home paid off by the time in the next 10 years. Like, I want it done. And I want you to go into retirement at 65 with a paid for house, and you've been investing. And then at 68, if you decide to retire, you will have been investing at least $5,000 a month for the last 10 years. Fair enough? Okay, so let's do.
I was thinking of selling the house and using that to build more money.
No, I want you
I
to
don't think
be.
you need
I
to
want you
do
to be
that yet.
65 with a paid for house that no one can ever take from you.
Okay, this one, I like the idea of selling the house, to be honest, because they want her to keep the house. At the end of the day, a house will be more expensive, especially the fact that she lost this much. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with me, but I would motivate her to sell the house, right? The reason why is because at the end of the day, you're still going to have to pay on the house, right? It's more of a liability than anything, right? Because you still have to pay property tax, right? You have to pay insurance. Then, for example, say something happens in the house. You need that money. You're going to need money that you're going to more likely take from your savings to more likely fix the house. So say something happened to the roof. There's a clog in the toilet or something, a pipe bust, flood. That's going to cost a lot of money. So for me personally, I would have told her to sell the house to get that 400,000. Now you're what, 200,000 left to kind of accumulate that 600,000. Then get an apartment, right? Where you don't have to worry about nothing really other than rent. Most apartments you might get or homes you might rent out, you don't have to worry about like light bill. You don't have to worry about water bill. You don't have to worry about gas bill. So you're just paying, everything is clumped up together into one, and you pay the rent compared to holding the home. I know it might suck, but in the space you are now, based on the decision you made with having your friend invest a certain amount of money for you and you lost it, then you have to be smart about it. The home right now is a liability. It's definitely a liability. So I would advise, I personally would advise her to sell the house, take that equity, get an apartment, and then whatever job you have, you could pay some for apartment, put some aside for saving, put the rest for investment, and just keep going on just like that. That's my opinion. I mean, at the end of the day, homes nowadays are more look like liabilities than asset. Or what you could do, instead of selling the house, rent it out. Rent it out. Or rent out if she have a triplex or duplex or vice versa. She can rent out a space in the house and bring in more income. They didn't say that, but maybe they're not thinking like that. But rent the house out. You go live in an apartment. You use the rent to pay the mortgage. And if your rent is a certain amount, take some of that rent money that they're paying you to, for them, someone is living in your house, take some of that. If it's a certain amount, take some of that, put into investment or put in your pocket into your saving. Then you're working and you have an apartment, and you could take that, you could pay your rent, and whatever you're bringing in from your income, you put the rest to either saving or investment. Now everything is working for you. You have the person that's renting out your house, then also your income that you already have in terms of from your job that you're doing overtime or whatever the case may be. And then you're taking some of that either from the rent that the person is paying you and the income that you're getting from your job, and you put that lump sum of money into another investment, something like stocks, bonds. And obviously these are going to be long-term investments. And then now you have 3 sets of cash vehicle working for you.
Because here's the thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If you invest, I'm putting this in my, I love a compound interest calculator. If you start with 0, and I'm just putting this in here, if you start with $0 and you invest for 10 years, so from the time you're 58 to the time you're 68, and you get some great rate of return funds, maybe you're in a 10% annualized rate of return, and you're doing this every monthly, $5,000 a month, right?
Yes.
If I calculate that, that's showing me that you're going to have $1 million.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So you've got time. Like John said, it's the emotions are high right now, but our emotions aren't high. This didn't happen to us. So we can look at the numbers and we're looking at them clear and focused. This is just showing you investing over the course of the next 10 years, $400,000 of income, and the rest of it is growth.
I can do that.
Yeah,
You can do that. And you're going to do more because you're working like a wild woman right now.
I am, because
I like that. Definitely like that. But we always have to look at the downside. Right now, they're not looking at the downside of what could possibly happen, because nothing is like gold. There's gonna always be ups and downs, right? Knock on wood, she could lose her job. Now, based on what I said, if she lose her job, she's still bringing an income based on the fact that, one, somebody's renting out her apartment, right? Well, not her apartment. They're renting out her home. So she's still bringing an income. She could find a part-time job where she could then still bring in her personal income, and she'll still be good. But now everything is just like based on her just going straight forward with just her, right? And I mean, their plan that they have for her sounds good, but we also have to always look at the downside. And because I'm a stock trader, I'm a day trader, right? Risk management is everything, right? So I was like, you definitely in life, everything I look at, I always look at the benefits and the disadvantage. I look at the good and I look at the bad. I look at the ups and I also look at the down. So you always have to look at both sides just in case, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. You know, let's finish.
I can't be home. If I am home, all I just do is cry. But if I'm at work, I'm okay.
Okay, but hold on. Don't work yourself into a grave as punishment for what you think you did wrong.
That's true. That's
you
true.
got hit in the mouth by somebody who said, "I love you."
One thing I should say. Anything that happened, anything bad in life that happened, don't beat yourself up. Don't, because at the end of the day, there's always a good and bad in life. There's always an obstacle. There's always good times that happen and then a downfall. You just gotta get back up and strap up from the bootstrap and keep going. It's like yin and yang. It's nothing like just go straight. Everything's perfectly fine. You're gonna have your ups and downs. So it's just like you just learn from that mistake and you just keep going. Just keep going. The same thing with trading. You keep losing, you can't find a consistent strategy or whatever. Keep going. You'll find something. The more consistent you are, things will work out in your favor in the long run. Sometimes things will happen quicker than not, but just got to get up. Keep fighting. Don't give up. Like he said, don't beat yourself up. Things happen. They're here giving you a game plan that sounds cool, so run with it. They got you.
Yeah.
You got taken advantage of. You did not do something wrong. So you're going to have a season. You're going to have a decade when you thought you'd be landing the plane. You ain't landing the plane, honey. You're going to be working hard.
Facts.
Yes.
But we're going to be working for something, not to punish ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm working for something, not to punish. Okay.
We're working so that
I
at
like that.
70, you're going to be one of those red New York ladies with huge glasses walking around telling guys like me to get off the sidewalk with our hacky sacks. That's what you're working
right.
for, right? You don't need to beat yourself up. You didn't do anything wrong. You got robbed, man, and now we're going to go make it moving forward. Hang on the line. We're going to hook you up with Financial Peace University. We want you to watch all the courses, and we're going to hook you up with a session with a financial coach to give you some.
But yeah, that was good. That was a good one. Didn't like what happened to her. That was super messed up. That person robbed her blind. Well, he lost it, so he ended up not getting nothing either. So it is what it is. But I think she'll be fine. I think she'll be fine if she map out what she need to do, and they gave her a good plan. They give her a good plan where she can take advantage of, and if she do it, I feel like she can get, like I said, accumulate as much as possible. And based on their calculation, I don't know. I'm not gonna do that, but you guys can do it. Based off what they said, by the time she's looking to retire, she could probably become a millionaire. You know, just one thing you got to learn, or a lesson you can take from this is, there's nothing wrong with letting someone invest letting someone invest for you. Because at the end of the day, the bank invests your money, whether you know it or not. They lose money a lot of time. Not all the time they lose money. It's just that they're consistent with their wins. So it's like the person that was doing the investment probably didn't have a strategy, no type of risk management, and they didn't know what they was doing. They ain't know squat. So don't look at that. Some people, you can't trust your friends or other people to invest your money. You just need to do your due diligence in terms of, one, you can ask them like, what made you make you qualified to do this, or just ask them question, because at the end of the day, it's your money, so you have the right to ask them any question you feel like you need to ask them. Or if you're not fully like locked in, give them some of the bread. You don't have to give them the whole thing. You have 100,000, give them half of that. Or if not, give them a quarter, 25,000, and see what they can do with that. So if something happened, yeah, you're gonna be a little bit upset, but you still have something in the cut. You still have something in the side. Plain and simple. So don't be afraid to take risk or do certain things, like in terms of like investing your money. Just do your due diligence and that's it. But this was a good one, and hopefully she get bounce back or whatever the case may be. All right, so that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning into this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys as Key Life Trading. Peace.